feel so high, but now I'm low, low, low. A feeling I can't hide, and it drives me slow. But I won't let it take me down. I won't fade away. I'll never let it make me fade away to gray. I'll be holding on. I'll never let it go until the end of time. I won't fade away. I used to feel so young, but now I'm old, old, old. I couldn't be more wrong, thinking I'll stay as bold. And I won't let it take me down. Forever hold my ground. I won't fade away. I'll never let it make me fade away to gray. I'll be holding on. I'll never let it go until the end of time. I'll be holding on and on and on and on. Oh, I'll be holding on and on and on and on. I won't fade away. I keep holding on.
All good for today.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the morning show on a Friday afternoon. I mean,
A few hours.
the midday show. The midday show.
Good morning to you. It's nice to see you today.
Poking the bear. I'm all over the place.
Poking the bear.
So how do you like that new piece put together by Mr. Josh?
I
and
love
Doc
that.
in the house?
Dr. Payman is in the house. That was amazing. You know, we don't always get to see the finished products on time, but they've been working on it and working on it. Doc came in the studio for about 3 hours to record, and I think they probably thought it was going to be about 15 minutes. And 3 hours later, they're still here recording.
It came out really nice. And what I like is you had a vision, you had a dream, you wanted to try something, and you went for it, and you did it. And how do you feel?
Thank you, Freddie. Thank you, Dawn, for having me here. It's an honor, a pleasure, just knowing you two. You're a bunch of fun, and this show is great. Great to be here. Yeah, Josh did a great job. And initially, when we were coming over here, I was like, well, you know, the song is only 3 minutes or maybe 10 seconds long. So I can do it 3 times. That should be about 9 minutes, and we'll be done. We can go home.
15 minutes, we're out.
Right, right. But no, they were pretty meticulous. They wanted like 16 cuts there, and then he came to my house, and that's my son there, the young version of me, and yes, the vision. This song, this album, after 34 years of composing my own music, finally I actually published, one of my works, and this collection is kind of me coming back to music, and it's really because I was inspired by my older son, Aiden, who's starting to make his own music, and his artist name is Evo, EVO, and so it kind of got me back to bringing the music back, and this particular song, it kind of shows the, me feeling my aging now and not letting it, take me down, and keeping that young spirit going, and I feel like now with my children growing up, and that's the part where he hands over the crown, because when I was younger, maybe he's playing me as being younger and feeling on top of the world, or feeling high in a sense of feeling like he was a king, and acting as a king, and but now, through them, through my children, I can kind of relive that again. And now they've grown to the age where, and as I was growing up and around the same age, and so it's like he hands over the crown over to me and gets me up to get that feeling again of being young. I'm living through them, but this album in general reflects resilience and perseverance in different songs, or one is about love, resilience in love, and one is about life in general, and this one pretty much kind of hits into that same theme that the entire album follows, and it's been released now for a few days. Actually, it just happened to come out just like a few days ago on like 34 different platforms worldwide, and it's really something that I do for fun. It's really I enjoy doing it, and it's not so much of a commercial thing for me, in my life. But I appreciate you guys having me here.
How many songs are on the album?
The album has 5 main songs and then 3 instrumentals of some of those songs, so a total of 8 songs.
And here's what's interesting. You are a full-time medical physician.
Yes,
And
yes.
we
I
were
won't quit my
talking-
daytime job, all right, I promise.
And I mean, you've got your Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You've got your Saturday and Sunday. You've got and then you've got businesses and urgent care, and you're always out there healing and helping people in our community. What makes you want to do music? This is a totally different
I
side.
know. Well, before I was a doctor, I'm composing my own music. First one was in 1989, so it's about 34 years. So while I was in residency, I still have my keyboard with me as I traveled from, different places for different rotations. But after I actually graduated and I became a doctor, that's when I actually bought some more professional recording software, Pro Tools, and so I was able to morph that music into more of a modern and a more professional. But now that I've kind of went back to it, and I tell you, it's either late at nights or every other weekend when I'm off, or early in the mornings, because I still have to spend time with my fiance Lindsay and with my children, and the other responsibilities that we all have, business and everything else that has to happen. I try to bring a balance between that, but I tell you, when I'm composing music, it's like it's healing time for me. It takes me to another world, and it's really refreshing, because there's a lot of stress these days in our lives with everything that's going on in the world, everything that's happening, in the financial world. I know we have somebody here talking about crypto, and which kind of, ties into some of the challenges and some of the solutions that might be for in our everyday life. But doing arts and doing music is a way that anybody can have a break and be able to, especially creativity, it's really has been helpful in my life. So I'll try to keep it up, and I'm already working on some songs for my next album. Probably a year from now that album would be completed. But it's great to be able to do that. I'm thankful that I'm blessed that I'm able to do that, and I get the opportunity, and I have the energy to do that, to actually make the effort to do that. I'm very blessed to be able to have that.
Are you working with your son on any future songs?
I have made a few beats for him. He likes more hip hop and rap, and he says, "Well, Daddy, these are not exactly hip hop, It's more alternative." So I try to on the beats that I try to make some beats that kind of sound hip hop, at least the drum set, because I designed the whole thing. I mean, I create it from scratch, so I can pretty much create it any way possible. But yeah, so he's got a couple of different songs that we are working on, and hopefully for him it will be released under his name, Evo, and maybe one day he will come to the show, and we can talk to him about.
Summer's around the corner.
It's interesting because a few years back, it's got to be over 10 years, there was Kendra, somebody I had just met. She was young, and she was learning how to develop her skills. She had coaches and everything else, and we
You
introduced
had to have
her
been just at a high school then.
at high school, and we introduced her at iHeart. And now, yesterday, Kendra did her first podcast with me. It's been 11 years, 10 years, 11, 12 years, whatever it's been. And she finally did a podcast with me. It's called Kendra Live, and we're fixing it to air it. Because it's not a podcast, it's a video cast, because she's talking in it. It's a video show. And it goes to show you how she went from music and developed her skills, and now she wants to interview other people in the business, in the music business.
Nice.
And it's come full circle. And we met her mom, and they brought us some swag in here so we can give out and stuff as well. And this whole thing has written itself.
The swag is amazing, but you know what this makes me think about more than Kendra is you and Gio. And working with your son and leaving a legacy with something that you love. Now, everything you see here was created by Freddie's son, Giovanni, when he was 14.
Wow.
He's now 27 or 28, right? And all he does is keeps enhancing, enhancing, and enhancing, which makes me think of Doc working with his 15-year-old son and what that's going to lead to down the road. I mean, there's so many synergies between you and Gio and what he's doing.
It's true. When the first day I met Doc and we were talking in the lobby, I was excited because you took a step to do something you believed in. And you didn't look in the mirror about age. You didn't look about this. I mean, we talked about it. Yeah. And I said, you're never too old, never too young. If you want to do something, you go do it. And you did. And there is the end result of it. And Josh is in his 20s, and he put this whole thing together. And he took different shots of who you are. He tried to figure out who you look like and who you are in film, which is part of what we do, the growth of what we do. And I'm very proud of the fact that came out pretty good.
Actually, Freddie, you're the one who inspired me to actually show my face, because at the beginning I was like, well, I don't know, maybe we can make a video that doesn't have me in there. We can have just actors in there. And you're like, Doc, just do what you love. Just be yourself. And I was like, sure, let's do it. And I'm lucky and blessed that I met you, that I found you guys. Somehow it all worked out, and you have inspired me, and you have been an instrument in I hadn't released the album yet when I met you, and you listened to the music, and you guys received that. But then that kind of led to some growth in my musical journey, I guess. Being here, coming to this show, meeting you guys. And it's been a blessing. I truly thank you.
Well, we thank you. How do people find the album and your music?
It should be anywhere: Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora. It's Peymon Z with a Peymonz. That's my first name with the initial of the last name. I wasn't sure what would be the artist name. If you remember, we didn't even have an artist name at that point. But some friends suggested to just have it Peymonz, Peymonz, and we just make it simple.
Peymonz is a great name. There's nothing wrong with it.
Well, yeah.
And I'm trying to convince Doc to do more on different sides because I see so many other things. I gotta tell you, when you do what you do, it inspires others to do. And I want to sort of jump into that with him, maybe do his own show, he do interviews, medical, whatever, put his music on the show.
Well, it's summer now, so I'm going to ask him maybe that his sons can do a kid show for us.
That'd be
For Kids
fantastic
and
as
Teen
well.
Network, because it's summer and hopefully they've got some extra time
Right.
that we can add that on for the
Yeah.
kids to really get into the arts, because I know schools are taking the arts away.
Oh.
And it
Okay.
makes it, your kids have to be in a great school where the arts are encouraged, but
Yeah,
not every
yeah.
school is encouraged in the arts. So maybe when they have some free time, it
That's
might be a nice way
unfortunate.
to highlight that.
That's very unfortunate. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. My younger son Ryan was in the video, and he kind of looks like me when I was a kid, from the pictures. My older son Aiden, who's Evo, he is actually he's got the personality. I mean, he is a showman. He's got he that performed at school in talent show, and so he will make a great. He's got the personality of somebody who could conduct a show for
Maybe we've got a new
for
show
kids.
host for the summer.
Maybe, or,
Kids Television
we
Network.
put the Cafe Night Train on Monday nights. Megan is coming this Monday. We're filming her. Megan is another voice. Wait till you see her come out of her shell. I got to hear some of her own music, just like what Doc did. Amazing stuff. And we got a lot of talent in South Florida that nobody's ever heard of. So the Cafe Night Train is going to explore that. And we put his son on there as well. Put Doc definitely on there as well. You got all these artists that are lining up. You see our friend Johnny Melnick. You saw what he sent me this
That
morning?
was great. I
He
did.
sent me the Beatles. Unbelievable. I mean, it's just, I get to witness stuff come at me from every direction. And I want to share and let everybody enjoy some of the things that we get to do every day.
Every day.
Every day. But Doc, it's a pleasure that I have met you. Thank you for trusting us with something that was really, really important to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, let's
Glad to
take
be
a
here.
commercial break. When we come back, we got to talk to this guy over here.
Yeah, I've been
The
looking for this guy.
Bitcoin Master,
The
Hadalon,
Bitcoin
is in the house, and Sally's going to say, and naturally, it all occurs. Steve, it's nice to have you back. We've missed you. I'm glad you are feeling better. More to come, and we'll be right back.
Do you have an idea for a show or a podcast? Do you want the opportunity to be on TV? Ant Media Productions is partnered with True Oldies Real Radio Station and powered by many online platforms such as Roku, Facebook, YouTube, and even Amazon Fire to help amplify your impact. Do you want your voice to reach a wide audience? Call us today at 866-224-5422.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink, and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Melberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Melberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
The easiest way to sell your home is to call the number on your screen right now. We'll buy any home in any condition. And the more it's worth, the more you can get. Plus, no real estate fees or commissions means more money in your pocket. And no fix-up costs either. Sell any home in any condition, sometimes within days. Sell your home fast. Call right now for absolutely free information.
Les Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties. Open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
South Florida's Good Time Oldies. Now, Boca and Delray Beach have their own oldie station. Catch us on 95.3 FM. It's the greatest rock and roll hits of the 60s and 70s. On South Florida's Good Time Oldies, 95.3 FM.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
You're the one that I love, and I'm saying goodbye. Say something, I'm giving up on you. And I'm sorry that I couldn't get to you. And anywhere I would have followed you. Oh, say something, I'm giving up on you. Say something, I'm giving up on you. Say something.
But Mom, that was for you.
I gotta tell you, it's a good thing that they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Amazing. Nice job.
Nice job there, Vlad. Thank you for helping out with the board, baby.
Thank you.
Couple of things before we go down to Mr. Macchia and our guests. You know, yesterday we did a trip down to North Miami.
Yep.
And in North Miami opens up a whole different spectrum of what we do here down there, because we're looking to do some business in Miami, some Latin music. Wherever Karen is our leading Latina in what we're doing down there as well.
You did a nice show today.
And they gave me some interesting points that are happening in Miami, like the Happy Monkey Shop. You know what that is?
I'm looking at it right now.
Well, that's one place.
Products are made from plastic free
Recycled.
or wood or materials that are made from recycled plastic.
Yep.
So they're repurposed toys, which is amazing.
Yep, and you can go anywhere but $25. You can go $160 to $219, but it's a toy store type of deal. Vecinos Market. You know what a vecino is? Neighbors.
Huh.
Right? Neighbors. Online shoppers at Vecinos Market is
But
whatnot.
this is nice. After the pandemic, the local artisans were trying to make ends meet until they came upon the owners, Rafael Barrera, looking for a way to increase online sales. So he made this market for the artisans to come in, make money, and send their customers all the goods via shipping. What a nice idea.
Lulu's Ice Cream. You wait to make ice cream.
They now have 500 employees.
And they started just 2 people.
Wow.
Okay? And, you know, I mean, the object of the game is that we're going to reach out to different companies down there because we want them to take advantage of
Is this
that
from
beautiful.
Bookie?
This is from Bookie.
Nice job, Casey. Now we're going to call all of them and see how we can work with them and bring them in.
Exactly. We are going to be open up in North Miami because we want Miami to be part of the family. Make it easier for you to go, and I call it the bend. You know when Miami has a big
Look at
turn?
this, Chef Adrian's,
You
a
like
vineyard
that?
restaurant. I do like this.
He's good.
I like this a lot.
He does the search, and we do the conquer. But that's a nice piece. We're going to be inviting people down to the North Miami studio that we're going to be doing down there, and we're going to invite everybody down there for a grand opening when we do it as well. We just have to work out the logistics with Don Pablo Coffee.
This is a nitrogen ice cream. So imagine having nitrogen ice cream and then
Put it in your car.
coffee.
Put it in your car.
You know what I started doing in the morning? 'Cause I never
To
really
ask.
finish my protein shake and my coffee in the morning before I run out the door because I'm always late. So now I take my coffee and instead of using water, I make my protein shake with it. So I get the best of both worlds. Ever try that? So you
I
kinda
do a
have coffee
protein
mochi.
shake every morning before the coffee.
I put my coffee in it for the water and the milk.
You
It's
put
all
your
like,
coffee and the protein shake together?
yeah. And then you kind of have like a chocolate, vanilla, coffee latte.
What are you agreeing? Yeah, you do the same thing?
Yeah. Why waste it? It's just water.
One stone.
Exactly.
It's faster.
And it's already cold because I haven't finished it. So a little
What
more
does
ice.
it taste like?
It tastes like a coffee protein shake.
Eesh.
You know, it's kind of what you make for Sally. Just minus
No,
the
what I
protein
make
shake.
for Sally is it's on another galaxy. What I make for Sally.
Are you ready to talk some Bitcoin?
Yeah, now, you know, I've been looking forward to this guy coming in because I got lots of questions.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. It's been a very long time. So
Very long time.
we were way overdue. Yeah.
Well, welcome back. Last time you were here, everything was on a high. Bitcoin was
Yeah.
ramping up. You had Hodl On, a show here every week on the radio. A lot of
Yeah.
great things happening.
Yeah, and then we had basically a market cycle happen. So we had a big bust. And I think a lot of that was also due to what's going on with the economy. I think it's pretty evident that we're in a recession, even though they won't call it a recession.
They just keep raising the interest rate.
Yeah. Interest rates are actually right now. Interest rates are as high as they were at the end of 2006, and then we know what happened.
The bubble burst.
What are they at right now?
I don't know exactly.
5.89 or
So
something.
it's still about the same. They're hovering where
They're
they've
at the
been.
exact peak though of where it was in 06, 07 before everything
burst.
exploded.
But business across the board, not only Bitcoin, there's downshifts, right? Everything is going down. It's getting smaller.
Yeah.
It's not just
Well,
Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's everything. But with Bitcoin, we've talked about it in the past too. Like Bitcoin has extreme about 4-year market cycles. And then it didn't help, about in January when FTX imploded.
Well, let's
So-
talk about that because now,
Yeah.
because FTX exploded, everyone makes that synonymous with Bitcoin.
Right.
They're
I
not.
know.
They're not one and the same. They are separate and not
Right.
equal.
Right. Yeah, so essentially what happened was FTX was one of the largest exchanges in the world for cryptocurrency. And then, as a lot of people know, our very own formerly American Airlines Arena, FTX bought the rights for that for like $150 million. And so they were a really big company, and they accounted for, I think, somewhere between like 10 and 20% of all trading volume like in the world for cryptocurrencies. So there was a lot of money in FTX. And basically what happened was it wound up being a big Ponzi. And, similar to Madoff, right, in the late 2000s.
But how do you have $150 million to buy an arena as Ponzi?
Well, they got caught stealing customer deposits.
So the money was there. It was legitimate money. It just
Yeah, it was
wasn't
legitimate
theirs.
money. They were just stealing from the
They were
customers.
stealing.
So yeah, they were basic. Kind of what was happening was, if you opened up your FTX app or you logged into FTX, that balance wasn't actually your balance. It was just a number on a screen. So if your account balance said $100 or $1,000 or $100,000, that wasn't your money anymore. It was just a number. It was a digital number on a screen, and they were siphoning that money to basically a parent or sister company called Alameda, and Alameda was using it to trade against customers, basically like a hedge fund, and they were losing. And then that's what happens with a Ponzi. Then they need more customer funds, right? And then ultimately what happens is, when the bear market started and the economy started getting worse and the market started going down, people are withdrawing their funds. And then just like what happened with Silicon Valley Bank, and it happens all the time with normal banks as well, but customers start withdrawing their funds, and now there's a run on the bank, and now you get exposed. And then it turns out you didn't have those reserves to back customer deposits.
Well,
you get exposed.
But let me ask you a question. If he had, first of all, you touched the money. Madoff and the New York Mets had a problem. That's why the Mets couldn't buy players, because they got caught. So it happens across the board. It's not just Bitcoin. He almost ruined the National League baseball team.
Yeah.
It got very close, and they were going to have to fold up and sell because.
Let alone countless people's lives and their entire retirements and.
It happens.
Yeah.
But my question to you is, if they had sat still, if they had withdrawn all markets and everything else and just waited, can you do that? Can you freeze all the assets Because I know that people want to see it always grow, but if you stay normal and don't steal, would they have been okay?
No, because I mean they were crooks, you know. So
they were stealing.
Yeah, they were stealing. I mean, they were outright stealing. So same thing with Madoff. In my opinion, it's a good thing that, like, without the market going down, same thing in 2007, 2008. Without the stock market going down, Madoff went and got exposed. And without the crypto market experiencing a bear market cycle, FTX went and got exposed. Now, when that happened, as you alluded to, right, is that it definitely gives the market a bad reputation. It gives Bitcoin a bad name. And meanwhile, again, as you stated, like, one has nothing to do with the other, but it gives it a little bit of a black eye.
Right.
And really, we experienced something similar in 2014 with an exchange in Japan called Mt. Gox. And Bitcoin endured that, and the market endured that. But what happens when it initially happens is people get spooked, and now they want to take their money out. So then that causes more panic selling. So then we saw the market further dump more, and it even fell as low as 16,000. And I actually think it's very impressive, though, that, I mean, literally within 3 or 4 months, Bitcoin recovered, and now you see it, you know, between $25,000, $30,000. So ultimately, I think it reinforces the resiliency of Bitcoin as an asset.
I mean, it was at 60,000 plus
Yeah.
at one time, right?
Yeah, but it turns out that a lot of that was it was over leveraged, and the price of Bitcoin was being artificially propped up by an exchange like FTX. Basically, when somebody logged on FTX and bought a Bitcoin, whether it was a full Bitcoin or a piece of a Bitcoin, they weren't actually buying Bitcoin. They weren't buying. It wasn't. I don't want to get too complicated, but that hash wasn't being marked on the Bitcoin ledger. It was just a digital number on a screen.
Wow.
So
on that company.
Yeah.
There are other
but-
companies that were more legitimate.
Right. Yeah. But you know, the price of Bitcoin is, you know, being shared around the world, and now people are thinking that that's the price of Bitcoin. It was being artificially propped up, and a lot of it was being over leveraged. And when the leverage got wiped out, you know, then we saw what really the real price should have been of Bitcoin the entire time. And it's tough. It's tough when you're someone like me.
I was going to ask you, how does this make you feel?
Oh, it disgusted. And I'm obviously a staunch Bitcoin apologist.
But are you still a staunch Bitcoin
investor,
Yes.
holder, believer?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, is this the best time to buy? Because
Yeah.
at 16,000, you must have said, "Oh, I'm going to go buy more," because you would have made 10,000 already.
It's always a good time to buy. I was buying at 16,000. I bought a few coins. I think I bought about 3.5 coins between 20. I thought we were good at 20. Psychological, what's called support. Because the previous 4-year cycle in 2017, the high was 20. So it's kind of a market psychology behind what's called support and resistance levels. So I didn't think we were going to go below 20. So I started buying a lot. And then we kept going below 20, and I kept buying more. But I'm always going to be a staunch believer of it. You know, I have it tattooed on my neck. And certainly, my net worth reflects my belief in it, where I probably have about 50% of my net worth in Bitcoin, and I hold a lot of coins.
Does it make you nervous?
No.
To have 50% and then to watch it so volatile?
I have an appetite for it.
Well, you have two
You're young.
tails.
I'm used to it, though.
But you have two tails because you had the high end, and that's there.
Yeah.
And that can only hopefully one day break even. But then you have the low end that's beginning to catch up on your higher end.
Yeah.
I mean, I get how he's investing. Now, I got to tell you, I think that they purposely do this to get out because they learn about Madoff and some of the big Ponzi schemes that are going on all around us. And believe it or not, there may be one next to you right now. You don't know what's going on. But when things begin to drop, like a lot of
All
banks.
the bad actors get exposed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that they're doing it on purpose because you know, 33, 34,000 on the blue chip market. I remember when that market was 2,000, man. So if you stayed in from then to now, you'll be a trillionaire. Trillions is what you will be making. So it isn't about beating up on Bitcoin. It's about beating up on lack of education. You know, you got to be educated. And there's a new education now at 16 to 26. There's money that was made there if you bought in right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys know my position on it's a little different, but most of like your mainstream average Joes, they still think of Bitcoin as, you know, basically an asset, and they think of it in US dollar terms, right? They want to trade it. I don't think of it like that. I don't think of it in terms of US dollars. The reason why is because Bitcoin is its own payment network, and it's also its own currency. So it's its own unit of account. Now, we do think of it in terms of, you know, the conversion of USD. But for me, I think of Bitcoin, again, as its own unit of account. So the reason why, and we've talked about in the past, is I want to use Bitcoin as a currency and a payment network, as a peer-to-peer payment method. So I want to have as much Bitcoin as possible. And we've also talked about in the past inflation. You know, so we see the dollar devaluing. And like you said with the stock market, it's not necessarily that the stock market's going up. It's really more that the dollar's going down. People buy stocks because they want to buy assets, you know, and over time, that value of a stock or an asset is going to go up. But a lot of it is really due to the dollar going down. So same thing with Bitcoin, though, back to that. Like, I want to have as much Bitcoin as possible. And I'm not some like conspiracy libertarian person where I'm like, it's not like I hope that the government fails or the dollar fails. I don't want that ever, right? But I think that with what you're seeing lately with banks failing, like Silicon Valley Bank and these other banks in California, that is a real thing that's happening. The Fed has printed record amounts of money during COVID. It caused inflation. I think it's going to get worse. I don't think we're at quite the peak of it yet, because inflation also compounds. But I want to have Bitcoin as an alternate payment method to the dollar.
We had someone in on Monday saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And she's a financial planner, and she wants to do a show. She came in, she sat down. You met her, Zaina. Sally met her. And she wants to do a show about 3D, 4D, and 5D money, where there's the currency as we know it is 3D. Bitcoin is the 4D. 5D using Bitcoin and cryptocurrency for long-term investments, for insurance, for all the things that we need for long-term investing, for products that we know on our 3D currency, but actually being able to grow older investing the crypto side of it.
I love that.
And how she wants, I should introduce you because she works with a company that's doing this.
Correct.
And she wanted you to actually check into this company.
Correct. And I mean, there's all sorts of different ideas that I think that are coming out. You got to be smarter. You got to be clever. You got to be fast. You know, the economy, they clicked it up another quarter on the interest rates, and you sort of have to make adjustments. Now, these banks bought instruments that were so small that when the interest rates rose,
bonds.
They actually, exactly. I mean, it was bad investing.
Yeah.
It wasn't Bitcoin.
Right.
It was bad investing that they sort of kaplunked that.
And we put all this faith and trust in, you know, the Federal Reserve and the government and banks. And like, these are humans that are making bad investment decisions as well.
Now, what's happening with this lawsuit? No one's backing this. So there's this class action lawsuit against FTX.
Rightfully
billions
so,
and
yeah.
billions, right?
Yeah.
But it's not as if the banking industry says, okay, you're FDIC insured for $250,000, we'll give you the money back. There's no government support, and we've talked about that because people don't want that. So I understand they're suing, but what do they think they're going to get back? Like Madoff, what was their difference?
Nobody knows.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting any money out of that.
But there's a lot of legal fees being paid out.
From somewhere.
From even people who are suing, right? You got to hire an attorney. It's not free.
Complicated. I mean, the funds were obviously misappropriated, and a lot of it too. Again, a lot of the customer deposits were being sent to their like sister company, and they were trading. as a hedge fund, and they were losing. They were trading with leverage and losing. And not only that, I mean, both Republican and Democrat. I don't get on sides with all that, but both Republican and Democrat. I mean, over like $50 million of campaign donations.
Yep.
That's unbelievable.
That is.
Right.
You
So
know?
there are people that are
So
supporting us on both sides.
I mean, the guy was buying houses and houses for his parents. So.
And
they're not getting that money.
In the
back.
best interest, of everybody who's involved heavily in this thing, is not putting this guy in jail, because you ain't gonna get nothing from him in jail. Is to try to get this thing back to those numbers, and then you can put him in jail.
Yeah.
Because right now,
Put him in jail.
well, right now people are going to be, I don't want to get too close to this whole
Right.
thing because they're so afraid. They don't want to expose this guy any more than they have to. Because honestly speaking, there's a lot of money invested in what these guys were doing.
Well, you know what happened too was the panic and the big scare from it in the crypto community and the Bitcoin community and all over Twitter was basically, if FTX was doing this, who else is doing this?
Who else is doing this?
And that's what I kind of meant earlier, where it had a short-term negative impact on the market, but in the long term, and we're already seeing it, it's having a more positive impact on the market, because a lot of these companies now, basically customers and people on Twitter were rallying to have different exchanges audited, and they were also requesting founders of other exchanges to transparently put their balance sheet on Twitter. And there was actually a couple other companies too that got exposed as Ponzi's, like BlockFi. But then there was actually good companies like Gemini.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, that Gemini. Yeah.
I fainted when I said that. I went, oh, thank God.
I love Gemini. But there was companies like Gemini that were able to transparently post a 1-to-1 reserve, to where it's like, listen, the Bitcoin that we say is on our exchange is backed 1-for-1, dollar for dollar. So Gemini is one of the good guys, and I
You
like
always
that.
said that.
Yeah. And listen, though, here's the deal. It's not that much different from, traditional banking, though. It runs on a fractional reserve. But the difference is that somehow we're okay with that, because we
Republic
know
Bank went down.
that the government and the Federal Reserve is backing traditional banks. But we know that they run on a fractional reserve. Banks don't have, none of them do. None of them have the
can't have
cash,
that kind of cash flow.
that they say they do.
And Silicon Bank, when it went out,
Right.
Perfect example of not having the
did
cash.
you see the panic? And then Republic was also bought out. I mean, these are big institutions. And this ain't Bitcoin institution. It's a whole lot bigger. You got a whole lot bigger problem out there than you realize. Now, what the banks are doing now is they're talking to one another, and slowly, surely, they're sort of helping out the smaller players, because they don't want to expose the news that some bad stuff is happening. The panic would set in your default, the world, not the country, but the
I
world.
think that there's a lot of panic setting in on the economy.
Listen, there's even been questions raised lately as well. Like, does the FDIC even have the money to insure these banking deposits like they say they do?
That's right.
And I mean, there's speculation that they only have like maybe 10 or 12% as a reserve to actually.
Yeah, because
with the
where are
insurance
they
that
holding
say
their
they
money?
have.
In Bitcoin?
So.
With FTX, can you imagine?
My
Some of
closet.
these banks were investing in right?
In my closet.
They're not-
Listen,
it's not sitting there in cash anywhere.
The government right now has its own problems, because what is it, June 1st, default? And you get a guy like Trump saying, maybe we should default.
Yeah,
let me weed out. Let me
do
weed
this
it out.
every year or two, though.
But
do.
doesn't
a big
this
game.
get tiring?
It's a big game. They say, it's gonna default, and if we don't raise the debt ceiling, it's a big politic game. They're gonna raise the debt ceiling because they have to.
They have
But at the
But
end
they
of
do
the
that
day,
every
you are
2
still
years.
a staunch Bitcoin crypto supporter.
I am, yeah. Crypto,
You're more
crypto, not so
Bitcoin.
much. No, I'm a staunch Bitcoin supporter.
Okay.
Yeah, and crypto, I've changed my stance on a lot of other crypto assets, and the slang derogatory term is with the S word, but they call them poop coins, S coins.
Okay.
And but a lot of the other crypto coins, they're all getting exposed. Bitcoin is the only one true asset that's endured a test of time, And, you know, again, we've talked about it. There's no founder, there's no company, there's no foundation, there's no development code team. You know, Ethereum, you know, months back, they made changes to the code. They're making changes to the supply of it. You know, and Bitcoin is hard-coded with an algorithm, cannot be changed. So
Steve, I think
I'm a
you have a
staunch
question?
Bitcoiner, crypto, not so much.
I was going to ask you about
Yeah.
what is the long-term forecast for something like Ethereum and
55.
some of the other supposed good guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not big on making price predictions because then I venture into, you know, investment advice. I'm sure the price is going to go up. I'm sure it's going to go up. But, you know, for me, if I had to choose between buying Ethereum or buying Bitcoin, I'm going to buy Bitcoin. But I'm sure the value of it is going to increase. I just don't like that, you know, there's a little more centralized control over the Ethereum network with the development team and the foundation, whereas Bitcoin, there is no, you know, third party or person or team that can interfere with the Bitcoin network, the supply of it. So,
I mean, I know that there are a lot of other entities that are probably unsafe. Would you say Ethereum is marginally safe?
I would, yeah. I would, yeah. Well,
Marginally
listen,
safe. I like that.
I mean, if you have
Marginally
money in
safe.
Ethereum, I mean, you have money in Ethereum. But I would personally just, if I had money in Ethereum, and I used to, I would just sell it into Bitcoin and just hold Bitcoin. If you, like, in my opinion, right, we shouldn't even be asking, like, is this marginally safe? We shouldn't even be asking that. Like, you should be 100% confident of where you're storing your money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm in Bank of America. I'm not 100% confident there either. I mean, you know what it is? I gotta tell you. The problem is that the truth is the truth. And something bad can happen anytime.
It's freaking scary to be an adult, to do adulting,
welcome
right?
to the adult world. Now,
I think the best play to go, like the best way to go to just be safe about your money, or if you are going to hold a crypto asset, is only have Bitcoin and get a little storage device. You can get you get a Ledger Nano X, you can get a Trezor, it's like a little USB device. You transfer your coins from the exchange onto the device. It's like a little USB device you could plug into your computer. And then you don't even need to hold it on an exchange like FTX or even Gemini, who is one of the good guys. But you don't even need to hold it on the exchange.
you can hold it in this
You
thing.
hold it on your own device. The same way you have your own.
How come nobody knows about this?
Because he's been in
What
hiding
about
for a
holding it
little
in
bit.
a wallet?
Yeah, you could hold it in a wallet. Yeah, if you could, you know, there's a hot wallet and a cold wallet. The USB device is considered a cold wallet because it's not attached to the internet, so you can't hack it. It's, you know.
But you better have the wallet.
Yeah, you gotta have a.
You lose that wallet.
No, there's backup. There's
they?
backup.
We talked about that the
There's
last
backup
time.
keys to it. Or
Now I
phrases,
gotta ask
but-
you real quick. When what's his face got out of the Bitcoin market at the very beginning, when he dumped it, what's his name? The big guy, the Twitter guy, I think it was one of those guys.
Elon.
Yeah, one of those guys dumped it. Remember, he said it's because he didn't like the way the mining process was being done. Did he know what was
Maybe you're talking about Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank.
Yeah, or Tesla.
Tesla, the
That's what
Tesla guy.
He's thinking of Musk.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know, Elon is big on the green energy thing.
But do you believe that, or did he know what was coming?
No, I don't think he knew what was coming.
Okay.
I think Elon's a real guy, man. I think he's really big on the green energy thing. And he wanted to see Bitcoin have more sustainable or renewable energy mining. And actually, currently right now, over 50% of Bitcoin miners are using green or renewable energy. And I think that's important, you know. So we're getting away from coal and the grid, you know, and there's a lot of hydro, you know, solar hydro is becoming a big one. El Salvador is using steam pressure from the volcanoes. So there's a lot of creative ways people are mining Bitcoin, and big companies. Wyoming is really big into taking natural gas flaring, and I mean, natural gas that's straight up carbon going into the atmosphere burning. So they're taking a lot of the flaring from nat gas, and they're able to, steer that into Bitcoin mining. So that's safer for the atmosphere as well.
People can still find you on Twitter?
Yes, yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Michael_Hodl, HODL.
Hodl on?
Yeah.
You like Twitter? You like what he's done?
I love Twitter. I love the Twitter platform. Yes, I think there's a big difference with Elon running Twitter. Again, I don't like to get into politics, but I think it's very important that it's becoming a platform of free speech, and I'm an advocate of that.
Well, he just hired a new CEO. I was wondering, was that you?
No. I'm not qualified for that, but I'm good at doing insurance. That's about it.
All right, let's go to commercial break. As always, a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much for reaching out. I know you're going to be here in a couple of weeks again.
2 more weeks, and I'm promisingly going to bring one of my friends, and she's super smart, and she is a big Twitter personality. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, more to come. We'll be right back.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40+ works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
Want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call, because the best prices are not online. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner. Call today and get the best price on your next flight, guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
Brand new shows, only on AMP2 TV. We have All-in-One Insurance, Latin Hustle con Karen, Meta Magazine Show, Pitch 2 Production, The Florida Love Show, The Sixth Borough, Meet the Experts, Reinvented Life, Lights in the Night, and The Hangout. Tune in so you don't miss these amazing new shows. Only on AMP2 TV.
Would you like to hear better for as little as 10 cents a day? Now you can with the all-new Audion hearing aids. The average hearing aid lasts about 3 years. Ours, at only $99 a pair, means you're paying as little as 10 cents a day to hear better. And to make things even better, we'll give you a 45-day money-back guarantee. Skip the doctor and get hearing aids delivered straight to your door. We've eliminated all the middlemen to offer you a factory direct price of only $99 a pair. Join over 300,000 people just like you who took advantage of our 45-day trial offer. Now you can hear better too for just 10 cents a day. Call now and order your $99 pair of Audion hearing aids with a 45-day money-back guarantee. Plus, get free 3 to 5 day shipping.
800-259-1328. 800-259-1328. 800-259-1328. That's 800-259-1328.
If you have diabetes, would you like to eliminate painful finger sticks? Are you injecting insulin multiple times per day? Then you may qualify for a continuous glucose monitor. CGMs monitor blood sugar using a small patch placed on your upper arm or abdomen, and they use your smartphone to accurately monitor your blood sugar levels. Stop pricking and start scanning. Plus, CGMs are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. They can be shipped free of charge to your door. Call today to see if you qualify.
Todo Bello Balloons is a business that was born out of a passion for creating unique and beautiful balloon designs, including balloon bouquets, balloon arches, balloon columns, and more. We specialize in creating unique and beautiful balloon designs that bring your dreams into reality. We believe that balloons have the power to bring people together and create lasting memories, and we are honored to be part of that experience. Contact us and we will bring happiness to your celebrations with our balloons.
Don't call a plumber, don't call an electrician. Call right now and for as low as $1 a day. Many things that run your house are covered with thousands of technicians all over America. You can call us with a plumbing problem, an electrical problem, and we'll be in your home in no time at all with a solution to fix it. You don't need an expensive repair bill and you don't need to buy new expensive appliances. We'll show you how to fix it for about $1 a day.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Feel so high, but now I'm low, low, low. A feeling I can't hide, and it drives me slow. But I won't let it take me down. I won't fade away. I'll never let it make me fade away to gray. I'll be holding
good for today.
And they're ready to go. So we're back.
I gotta ask you a question. I should ask Josh too, but he's on the board. How's it feel to inspire someone for their dreams to come true? To be told, you inspired me for my dream to become true.
I think Doc is a very nice person, and those are kind words, but I think there was his inspiration. He came here, he didn't know me, and he just told me how he felt, and I was shocked, man. But this happens almost every day. When I met Kenny, I said, this guy's a nut.
You deflect.
I'm not deflecting, I'm telling you how I feel. I made Sally.
I gotta ask Josh the same question when he comes out.
You know, the funny thing is that if you take a test tube and you add water, eventually it fills up. And that's how you feel. You're overwhelmed and everything else. But those are all the drops, man. You know, in our life right now, there are so many things going on. And 90% of the time, you wake up to the news and gives you all the bad news. It doesn't give you a lot of the good news. You know, there's no good feeling. There's no guy standing in a red suit giving you a rose that doesn't know you from Adam and tells you I love you.
I have to tell you, speaking of Kenny, and I know we've had other guests also, you gave my daughter 24 roses last week for her birthday. And we were going away, so I didn't send her anything. I knew we were away. She was at my house. I go home and I give her these roses. And she said, do you know, all I wanted for my birthday was flowers. Wow. And she was so excited. I said, so when we come home on Sunday, you'll take them home? She says, no, I'm going to leave them here so I know they're here. So they're still at the house. But you made her day. She said that is all that she wanted. So thank you for that.
And I'm going to say I'm not happy. And I'm going to say I'm not happy with you because you gave Linda 2 roses. I wake up to the 2 roses every day. I got to hear, I don't give her roses. Thank you very much.
So when are you going to give her roses?
Oh, there we go. When Mother's Day is coming and everything else.
So Sunday?
I don't know, Kenny. I had to come up with an idea because
Roses.
you already took the idea.
Roses? No, I didn't.
Yeah, you
Probably
did.
Get them from you.
No, because I don't want to do it because Kenny's roasting. I gotta wake up every morning. They're right there in the living room. Right? There you go, just 2.
Do you
But
know
they're long.
I gave Sharon roses every show, right? Her husband never gave her roses. Now he gives her roses all the time.
All the time.
I'm telling you, if it comes from you, a dozen roses, she'll be in heaven like Chelsea. Yeah.
So thank you. You made
You're
her
welcome.
day.
Thank you for the photo, Dawn. It made my day. I was in tears.
I couldn't believe she did it either because sometimes I didn't know what, you know, Chelsea. She says things. She doesn't show emotion like that. And I said, well, let me take a picture. And she posed for the picture for you. And I thought, wow, that meant a lot to her. So thank you.
Well, I love you, Dawn. Send Chelsea my love. Love
Thank
her, love
you.
her. How was Disney?
Disney was great.
Did you get on a roller coaster?
They had me on every single one. 24,000 steps I did on Saturday. We did 2 theme parks. My son bought me new sneakers for Mother's Day, and he gave them to me last week, and he said, you're going to need these, Mom. And we did. 2 theme parks, but every roller coaster. I didn't do Space Mountain, but all the other ones we did.
Wow, Dawn.
So, I know. And I'm usually the bag holder. I'm not usually the rider,
No,
but I did.
I go there now. I get on every ride.
I thought if Freddie can do it, I can do it.
Wow.
So you went upside down.
I don't know what I did.
You did like, you know, the roller.
I don't think they went
She's
upside
still
down.
upside down.
You didn't go in the dark. That
I
was
did not
Space
go in
Mountain.
the
She's
dark.
still upside down, right, Blanche, with this morning show? She's a little still upside down.
All right, we got a new guest over here. You tell me she talks to
Well,
the
Diane
animals?
is bringing us a new guest. We'll let Diane make the introductions.
Yes.
Talk it to your microphone.
Thank you. Yes. Loli Jane is a healer and she communicates with animals. Unlike those animals that channel and those people who can channel animals, no, she can actually have a conversation like you and I are having.
Like the lizard I saved, and I told the lizard to play last night. I wasn't going to capture you. See, I knew she was coming. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
What types of animals do you speak with? All of them?
Any kind of animal that's out there.
Do you channel them, or you need to be with them?
Well, I do it remotely. I can do it in person, but it's actually easier to do it remotely. So I'm having a direct conversation with them telepathically. So it's not psychic. It's not a psychic guess or a premonition or guidance that you get. It's tuning into the animal, looking at their picture, calling them up, asking them if they want to chat, and then discussing issues with them.
You did that once.
Lolly, your dog Frosty.
So part of my talent is I'm hard of hearing. So you got to come over here and ask me questions.
So's my mom. So
Part of my story is I grew up almost deaf, so I'm not that deaf.
So my mom is too. My mom is too. I always have to speak to her like this. So your dog Frosty, who passed, did you share with your dog Frosty? Like, did you speak with your dog Frosty?
I have, but I'd rather not talk about that right now.
Okay.
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 You know, I was telling her the story that
Emotional
we.
in your eyes.
I was
There's a lot
telling
of
her the
love for your
story
dog.
that we had when the lady that came in was talking about Casper, and I'm gonna tell you something. All kidding aside, Casper now is very happy. He doesn't urinate in the house anymore, or the furniture, or anywhere. The beds, nothing. He's actually pretty cool, and he communicates a whole lot more. I think there was this whole trust factor because that poor animal was slapped around a lot before me and sent all over the place, and I heard that he was abused by being left outside. Casper won't go outside. Like Linda left the door open today. I wanted to see if he would go out and watch him. He won't go because I guess he had a bad experience with all that. And we talked about the litter and everything else, and she told me that he didn't like on his paws. And I thought the lady was from another planet, and she was right. And the cat he's a godsend. I gotta tell you, I will never admit this to Linda, even though I'm pretty sure she's watching. I kind of like Casper.
No, Vlad, sorry, you're not getting a cat today.
Nah, you know.
He offered it up this morning with a bag of food, but now I guess you're keeping him.
I wouldn't. She would never let me do that, but I wouldn't do it anyway. But it's amazing how animals are so receptive when things happen, when people die or things disappear on you, and cats know.
Oh, well, how did you learn you had the talent? Because we don't have a whole lot of time left in today's show. How did you learn that you could talk to the animals like Dr. Doolittle?
So I've been a channel most of my life. I grew up profoundly hard of hearing since age 6. So because of that, I kind of became a little bit extrasensory, I would say. So I can channel angels also. So I've been doing that most of my life, channeling the angelic realm.
So you should be pretty
So
busy
for
in
me,
here right now.
Talking to something telepathically is sort of natural, more than talking to somebody next to me.
And people call you to talk to their animals while they're in this present world or when they've passed?
So I can do both. So people usually call me about behavioral issues or physical issues, any kind of particular thing going on with their animal. I can also talk to animals that have passed on. I can also do past life regression with animals. It's pretty amazing. But the way I work, we're all different. All animal communicators are different. So I'm more of a therapist. I call myself an interspecies therapist because I do a deep dive with the animals and I do more therapeutic behavioral stuff working with them.
What types of things? So if their hip hurts or they're leaving a mess all over the house, you can help them, help
So
the
what
owners
I-
by talking to them, saying, okay, this is what we can change for.
So animals have all the emotions that humans have, and they are just as intellectual, if not more, actually, probably
True.
more than
Yeah.
humans. So it's a direct conversation with them and a negotiation with them, just like I would talk to, a person about working out issues. A lot of times, animals are mirroring people. They're trying to show or tell you something. When they do a certain behavior, they're doing it for a reason, and they know very well that they're doing this behavior. It's not random that they're doing something. They're in your face trying to show or tell you something. Either something's going on with them, or they're trying to mirror you or somebody else in the family
Oh my gosh,
for
yeah.
a particular reason.
I remember the day we had to let Nemo pass to the other side. He had just had a seizure, and I didn't know it. And he came to me limping on 3 legs, and he just looked at me. And I knew that was the message. And I told Chuck, I said, listen, he came to me limping, and he looked at me. He's done doing this. And Chuck says, no, he's not. I'm like, listen, this is what he tells me. This is the message. We have to respect what he wants in his life. I remember I actually called you that day because I was like a bucket of, because he actually showed me what he wanted. And I thought, how am I communicating with this dog? but they do let you know what you need to know.
When I lost Nina and I took her to the vet, she had cancer in the uterus. And the doctor was in the room, the nurse was in the room, I was in the room, Michelle was in the room, and she was right across the room. And he says, we have to put her down. He says, do you want a minute? And she just stared at me. And she knew. And she raised the paw and she put it over her eyes. And it was night-night after that. It broke my heart. Never wanted another dog ever again after that. You know, Casper jumps up on the sofa because he has hair. I mean, he's a 22-pound Mancoon, and he's shedding. And the only one that he lets remove the hair, because it clumps, I've never seen anything like this on a cat, is Linda. But there comes a point where he'll start saying, enough, enough, stop it. And then he'll run off, and then he'll come back, because it hurts when she's removing it. So there's all this personality in this animal that I never knew existed.
It's kind of crazy. I had a dream once. Sally, I told you this. I was dreaming that Sally and Steve were off of Palmetto Park Road in a neighborhood walking a dog. And she was in this beautiful gown, and Steve was like either in a tux or a not really nice suit, and they were walking this little brown and white dog. Craziest dream, right? Color, everything. I knew what street they were on. I could tell you, I could find the street. And she says to me, was it this color? And I said, yes. She said, I had that dog.
Oh, yeah, that's correct.
You remember that?
Yes.
I
yes,
had a dream
because
that
my dog that passed not that long ago was that color.
I had a
it was
dream.
more black.
I had a dream that you two came over and brought a pizza pie to my house.
Monday,
no,
be here
that
for her
was
meetup.
definitely a dream.
Tuesday.
Oh, no, Monday, she's got a meetup. She's bringing pizza.
I am
today.
bringing pizza Monday.
I thought she was bringing a dog.
She doesn't have that dog
no,
anymore.
the dog's has transitioned.
You don't have it in a painting or a picture or something?
I have pictures of her, yes.
You should bring it. I want to see if it's the same dog this one was dreaming about.
Okay.
And I'm really going off the deep end.
She was a very, as far as I could tell, because I could communicate with her, she kind of understood where I was coming from.
It's funny because communications happen in a lot of different forms. I guess when you get older, you begin to see how these things happen. Like Russ Johnson comes in here and he tells Dawn, "You're taken care of. I spoke to him."
Oh, he did.
And
he
I'm
didn't speak
standing
to
there.
Neil, did he? Did he
And
say
I'm standing
Neil?
there,
Oh,
I'm
my
saying,
God.
"What about me?" He said, "No, they don't want you. They want Dawn." I'm like, "What the hell is that?"
I know what he's talking about.
This isn't a guardian. This is some other life form. Apparently, it's going to come.
Well, you saw, I went for a walk this week, and I come back to my house, and on the roof, there's 3 doves. So I named them Gabriel, Michael, and Raphael, and I sent it to you, and I sent it to Frank. Those are my 3 angels sitting above my house. I know they were there for a reason.
That's why when Frank comes in here, he gives me a blessing because he says, "You ain't going nowhere. Let me give you a blessing."
Do you believe in this? You can actually, the animals come for a reason?
Yeah, everybody has animal spirits, and you know, I do this medicine wheel thing every equinox, where people can invite their spirit animals in, and you have spirit animals that are with you your whole life, but you have ones that come in for specific reasons. I could tell you tons of crazy bird stories.
Someone once told Freddie his spirit animal was a snake. Do you remember that?
How can I forget it?
That is very possible. Snakes are not bad. They're kundalini.
That's what she
That's
told me.
kundalini energy.
Kundalini.
Kundalini energy. That's
very good.
snakes are very powerful ascension animals.
Sally,
That
you
means
hear
you're going through ascension
That's
if you
a
get a
snake,
snake.
baby.
Well, we were going through a lot of change at the time. That was the same time we pulled those cards.
Yeah, I pulled. Thank you. I pulled the 3 death cards, and there isn't 3 death cards in the whole
But
deck.
it was a lot of change in the snake as well.
There's a lot of change in the snake.
Death is not bad either. What does a snake do? It peels its skin every so often.
So is a lizard. So is a frog. So is a hippo.
No.
Yeah, they peel. They get sunburn and everything else.
Well,
I would say pay attention when the animals show up for you. But you know
so
what?
what does
It's-
it mean? So the 3 birds came to my house.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Well, a lot of times you'll get a thought that pops in your mind with the animals. Like if an animal shows up right in your face, they're there for a reason. If it's just like random, in your yard or something, but usually you'll get a thought that pops in your mind. You think it's your own thought. That came from them.
You have a
They're telepathically giving you messages.
Quick question. What about animals that show up in dreams that symbolize stuff?
I can't.
Animals that show up in your dream, does it symbolize anything in your dream?
Yeah, you could be doing this in your dream or while you're awake. I mean, usually, people that dream about animals, it is a message from your animals. Your animals may be telling you that they're coming back to you, in a dream. I had that very thing happen with Frosty. When I met an animal communicator who inspired me to do this. And her name was Amelia Kincaid, famous actress and all this stuff. I met her in Hawaii when I was living there. And I talked to her for 2 hours. She got me so excited. And then I went home that night. I had a dream that my dog that had passed had told me a specific message. And she came in the next day and she goes, "Hey, your dog has a message for you." And she told me the exact same thing I had a dream about that night. That's what started this path for me.
I gotta tell you, there are times when I see Nina and Casper is playing with something. Like he'll go on the floor on the rug, and it's like he's playing with somebody. And I see her. And this is the first time I've ever said this to anybody, because I was afraid people would say I'm a couple of first tries short of a Happy Meal. And I see it, and I'm watching him play with himself, and he's like laughing and playing and jumping and everything else. Because Nina was very close to cats. For some reason, she used to bring cats home, and my father would have to take them out of the apartment and back into the street. And I see this thing, and I never said this. And so I look at the side of my eye, and there's Nina, and I look, and she's not there. And then I go here, and I see her again. It's very. I'm gonna tell you something. I said, "Sally, you're doing it again."
I need to bring Sally into this conversation because Sally is our psychic and medium, and she's doing a meetup here on Monday during your show, Call Me Zena, where we've invited our spiritual community on Meetup, and I think you've got a handful of people coming as well.
Yes, I have. I think the pizza's drawing them in.
Do you ever work with spirit animals as well?
I actually don't, but I know I've had many messages from my Sabrina that passed. One in particular, and I'm not sure if this lady can hear me, but shortly after, she was every time I would speak with my guide, as you know, Aldo, we would get in deep conversation. She'd lay on her back and listen intently, maybe even for 3 hours, never moving.
Wow.
But in the room that she used to sleep in, after she passed, two things happened. She loved those little salamander lizards. And when she passed, I was devastated, but I believe, obviously. And where her bowl was, where she would eat, there was a little lizard for 2 months that never left there. It was tiny, it never even got any bigger, but it was right where she used to eat. And then, of course, it disappeared. But then I was in the room that she used to sleep in, and I said, "Are you here, Sabrina?" And I felt telepathy, I could hear her, and I moved a little light in there. I was actually dusting, and out came a little lizard again.
Oh my gosh.
So my question, I am not sure if you can hear me, is that...
Can you hear her?
Hold on, ask the question.
What's the question?
Well, I'm a channeler, but of not necessarily of animals. I don't
Sally,
know.
come over here.
Oh, sorry.
She's a channeler.
I'm a channeler, but I channel a collective. But when my dog passed, and I've had many little messages from her, but what I was wondering, and I don't know a whole lot about animals, when they pass, and she was a very spiritual dog. I used to talk spiritual, and she would listen intently for hours. But she loved these little salamanders, the little lizards. And by her bowl, after she passed, her bowl wasn't there, but this little salamander used to crawl around. And then I lifted a light out one day. I was talking to her, and one crawled out. Do they get the salamanders to do this, or is actually her spirit that's doing that?
So they can jump into an existing body to say
Okay.
hello to you.
So they can do it with a little...
They can jump into any animal body.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they basically, talk to the soul for a second, say, "Hey,
Right.
can I borrow your body for a second? Because I
Right.
want to
Gave
say
me
hi
the
to my
chills.
person."
So now you've actually...
So they can jump in there, say hello to you, run around. I had the same situation
So I'm
happen.
certain it was her.
I had
Okay.
2 Jackson chameleons,
Okay.
and my dog Frosty, who is a mini American Eskimo,
Okay.
jumped in the body of that chameleon.
Okay.
And I felt that love. I mean, it happened.
Thank you so much, because I can answer it if it's a human, that someone's been here. But I felt obviously they have the same. They have they're a spirit in spirit.
Yes.
I never knew
Thank you.
salamanders had a soul.
So you'll get thoughts. So
Mhm.
know, especially you. You're a channel, so
Yes,
you'll
yeah.
get thoughts.
I feel she's here
when
right
the,
now.
when the,
actually.
you know, probably when
yeah.
your
Getting my goosebumps.
what's your animal's name?
Sabrina.
Sabrina, and
Yes. Sorry.
what kind of animal?
Oh, she was a dog. She
Okay,
was
what-
a
what breed,
Cavalier,
though?
King Charles. A Cavalier.
King Charles. Okay, hold on. And then your name is
Sally.
Okay, hold on. I usually look at a picture, so
I have a picture.
Okay,
but
because
we
I
don't have
usually
the
look at a
time.
picture. It's a lot easier with a
Look,
picture.
the cat,
Do you have a picture on your phone?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so
All right, you get a picture. While you get the picture and you chat, we're going to talk to Kenny Love because you've got a special guest coming in from Tampa.
I have a picture. She's going to chat.
Karma Love. I've never met her. She was watching the show with Amelia a few weeks ago where I was doing it in loving memory to her parents. Actually, well, they're still alive, so loving memory. And she saw her hugging her dad so tightly. And I said, boy, that's the most beautiful daughter-dad hug. She started crying. She says, my dad doesn't hug me that way. And then she called me. She reached out to me. And they're in Tampa. So she's coming down here. I've never met her, with her mom, Nilda. So she's Carmen Karma Love, her mom, Nilda, her son, Ocean, and we're doing it in loving memory to her grandma, Nilda. So the show's going to be just loving moms. I mean,
Mother's
this is
Day.
Mother's Day weekend. Everyone loved their moms. So, Dawn, happy Mother's Day. I love you
Thank
so
you.
much. Karen, happy Mother's Day. Any other moms?
you.
Love you, 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 love you.
Nice.
And we're just going to spread love all over the world and mom love all over the world. So I'm really excited.
You know, Freddie was talking about you the other day, and he always says, I thought he was the craziest man ever to want to do a show on love. He says, but let me tell you, he makes me work hard every week with those videos. He says, but he puts on one of the best shows we do every week.
True that.
Right? It's a lot of work on your end, and it's a lot of work on our end for the prep, but what a show. Spectacular. So thank you for all that you do.
Love you, Dawn. Love you, Freddie. Thank you for all
Love you
those
too, buddy.
downloads. Love you, Freddie.
Sally, just walk through this way, honey. And while you're walking through, you're going to walk through. We have a new piece. We have a new crew that went out on the road this week, and they went out to explore the Everglades.
They went out to explore lots of things. I
So-
think that this clip is of the Everglades because we have
That's
crews that are going out right now. We want to bring the shows out to the public, to the community, and sort of get the feel about what's going out there. We actually have two crews
So
going.
this one in particular was to bring awareness to what to do in South Florida for free or on a budget. Kids are getting out of school soon, and how to have some friendly, safe South Florida fun. So let's see what we got.
There are so many fun outdoor activities you can do throughout South Florida. The first spot that we went to is a place called Gumbo Limbo, which is a popular conservation site that helps injured sea turtles back to rehabilitation and back into the wild. With almost 40 acres of land, Red Reef Park has something for everyone. Whether you want to golf, swim, or even snorkel, Red Reef Park is the place to go. Plus, it's located right next to Gumbo Limbo. Our next spot was Windman Park. Windman Park is a 8.3 acre park with tennis courts, playgrounds, picnic areas, baseball fields, and so much more. Last but not least, we went to South Inlet Park, which is a beautiful beach located in Boca Raton, Florida. There are so many beaches around in this area, so you definitely have to give them all a try.
Nice.
Very cool. Ryan and Shay went out to film that. Very nice.
Nice job. Two new crew members for the cafe, so check them out. Nice things to do in South Florida with your family.
Hold on.
Great ideas for Mother's Day, actually. Take the kids out, have some fun.
She said
Supposed
she
to
may
be
be coming
beautiful
back too.
outside.
She's training for
Yes,
that.
it is. Very nice this
And I've heard that from
So,
other
nice job, you
animals.
guys.
They are doing human
And before
training. Like human.
Beautiful,
they go to
right?
Human training school, just like.
How'd you like the
animals to
drone?
dog
How'd you like the
training.
drone that
She may be
Ryan
coming
has?
back to you. Hold on.
Isn't that unbelievable?
You guys are incredible.
You know what they say? It's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it. So they enjoyed a few hours at the beach. No, they were working hard. They went out 4:30. They got back late that night, but that is fantastic.
Ryan did a nice job.
All right, so before we wrap up, Sally, how's it going over there? Sally, how you doing over there?
Well, I just heard.
Okay, so we're talking to Sabrina right now. So Sabrina is, I don't know if you can see this, King Charles Spaniel.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sabrina said, I'm busy right now. I'm in training. For what? I'm in human training and I'm getting some guidance because I may come back to her. And she's coming back as an animal. Let me find out what animal. She's considering being a cat now instead of a dog. She goes, but she wants to know if you want her as a cat. If you're okay with a cat.
A cat maybe, but I don't want another dog. I'm getting too old to have
Okay, well that's
dog.
why. Because you know,
she's
she's her guides are helping. You know, it's this whole guided system. Like when they come back to you. Hold on, let me ask her what animal and what'll be the signs. Okay, hold on. She goes, I'm really considering a cat. And she's showing me like a cat that's almost larger. Not like your cat, but like kind of larger. Like a large cat, like honestly. And hold on. Okay, she's showing me an image of like almost like a long-haired
I see it actually.
long-haired cat.
I think it's a
And
black
it's
and
kind of
white.
like it's kind of like silvery. Okay, but long-haired and kind of large for a cat.
Steve, you ready for a
And-
cat?
I'm not a cat person,
And
but if it's Sabrina, I'll take
guess
her.
what? You're getting a cat. Wait, let me ask her what'll be the signs and when she's coming back. I just got some weird something. Okay, hold on. Okay, something's kicking my leg. Stop. Like, oh, I don't know.
I think so, 'cause the only other
It feels like a scratch on my knee.
I was with a psychic and they said, your dog won't be.
Yeah, well, somebody's scratching my leg right now. Okay, hold on. Let me ask her what'll be the sign or when she's coming back. When would she like me? Answer. When would she like me? Okay, you answer.
I really don't know.
I don't.
mean, I'd
Okay,
love
she
to
doesn't
see her
know.
again, but
Does she want me sooner or later?
that's up to her. I love her.
It's
and
up to
I
you.
miss her very much.
She's like, I'm gonna go. She goes, I'm gonna go through the rest of this training so I can know how to take care of you.
We're
So
gonna be
apparently,
away,
this is
for a
this
while.
has happened in a couple cases I've had. They told me, oh, I'm like, what are you doing right now? You know, what does it look like? They're like, I'm in human training school. I'm like, you're in what? They go to human training school. We send animals to animal training, which is laughable because they're up there in another dimensional
Doing
realm,
human training
going
school.
to human training school to
All right.
learn how to handle their humans when they come back to them to help them with their lessons. What do you want me to ask her?
Ask her because Aldo was very close to her and he was very spiritual.
All right, well, you guys finish that up. We're going to wrap
Okay.
up the show to get ready
Okay.
for the Florida Love Show. More to come. We'll get all that information out to you. Steve can't have a cat till they get back from London. So Sabrina, hold off for a couple weeks. Come back around June, and then we'll be good. Tune in today at 3 o'clock to the Florida Love Show. To all our crew, check, and they've been amazing. Check your inbox for our newsletter that went out this morning, and we will see you Monday, 9 a.m. drive time. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms and pet moms out there. We'll see you Monday.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.